Hamilton with the advantage down the back straightaway, side by side with Jason Robles. Robles now back to the inside. Problems for the 0-0. Around goes the 49 of Troy Folger. Around goes Kaufman in front of the field. Tate Loftus gets on the binders and makes contact. Loftus able to continue. Kaufman will bring out the caution. Clay Daly gets the Twisted Motorsports number 48 machine to the top spot. Down the max rating. Oh, around goes Haggio. Heavy contact with Nick Spainhoward. Stuffing in the wall. Problems for Spainhoward. Broken right front. Cameron down to the bottom side here in 3. Around goes Jamesy. Jamesy Baker. 1 and 2. Hipton all over the right rear quarter panel of Pounds down the back straightaway. Colin Hipton sideways. Upside down goes Colin Hipton. Red flag conditions. Red flag. That is the first Bakersfield Speedway big ride for the Fargo, North Dakota driver Colin Hipton, formerly of Orchid, California. Went back to go race with the big boys, now calling Fargo home. From Pahrump, Nevada. Excuse me, he was from Pahrump, Nevada. Dylan Thornton gets the Salty's barbecue. Contact on the front straightaway. Heavy contact for the 16. Salters himself has put up an extra $1,000 to go to the victor of tonight's A feature for the modifieds. Green flags in the air. Loftus side by side with Hudson off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Here comes Curran in the 32. Loftus leads lap number 1. Hudson in the number 2 spot. Third is Haggio. Over Curran in the 32 and the 172 of Tyler Irwin. Irwin side by side with Chris McKellar down the back straightaway. We've got one around here in turns 1 and 2. Caution flag will fly. Green flags in the air. Loftus with the advantage now. Hudson side by side with Curran down the back straightaway. Chris McKellar and Haggio, they're side by side, sitting 4th and 5th. Haggio taking a peek underneath Hudson, but the advantage for that 3-car battle goes to the 132 of Curran. Chris McKellar making moves in the 18C. Chris McKellar and Brent Curran trying to get back by the L87 of Hudson. Hudson on the bottom side one more time around. Tate Loftus has the 62 machine healthy lead. That's the best battle on the track is for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th between Hudson, Curran, and McKellar. Tate Loftus wins the B feature. At the line, it's Hudson. Is it Curran? Curran edges out Jeffrey Hudson over Chris McKellar, Matthew Haggio, the 172 of Tyler Irwin, Brian Baker, Houghton Thornton, Manning, and Pike. For the fastest guy here on night number 2, the 38th Annual Budweiser Nationals. Green flags in the air. Thornton throws a slider, and 1 and 2 has to get on the binders now. Thornton, he's going to have that run down side by side into turns 3 and 4. Big time slider from Dylan Thornton. Thornton to the top spot. Into 3 off of turn number 4. Dylan Thornton picks up the dash for cash. Jake Pike gets it wrong off of turn number 4. Hooks the moisture. That's going to get the 51G of Gavin Manning, the number 2 spot over Donald Houghton, and the 223 of Jake Pike. Green flags in the air. Folger to the top side is going to have the momentum, lead him down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Folger leads lap number 1. Josh Combs the number 2 spot. Then you pick up the 75 machine of Andrew Pickham. Larry Wise in the number 4 spot. He goes to the top side in turns 3 and 4. And the 070 of Randy Thornell. Justin Crockett, the C5 of Wayne Kaufman. Rob Sanders and Colin Hipton. Three laps down, 12 laps the distance. Troy Folger. Sparks fly off the rotors as he goes to the high side of turns 1 and 2. Josh Combs in the 1-2 machine sitting second. Caution flag will fly. 2 cars together on the bottom side of turns 3 and 4. Green flags back in the air. B feature action. Troy Folger ripping the lip in turns 1 and 2. Peckham and Combs side by side into turn number 3. Larry Wise on the extreme bottom side looking at 3 white coming off of turn number 4. Justin Crockett in the 21 JT getting a little bit more comfortable behind the wheel of that brand creative machine sitting in the top 5. Folger and Combs 1 and 2. Larry Wise now to the bottom side of turns 1 and 2 getting by Peckham. Peckham trying to rip the lip and carry that momentum. Around goes the 070 of Blake Thornell. Caution flag will fly. Green flags in the air. Folger with the advantage, but he's got Combs all over his back bumper into turns 3 and 4. Josh Combs down to the bottom side. They're going to be side by side at the line. Give it to Combs. Josh Combs on the bottom side. Troy Folger around the outside. They're side by side now to turn number 3. Larry Wise in the number 3 spot over the 21 JT of Justin Crockett and Peckham in the 75. Combs and Folger 1 and 2. Larry Wise and Justin Crockett, your top 4. Combs now with a sizable lead over the 49 machine into 3 off of 4 for the final time. Josh Combs picks up the B feature win. Folger, Wise, Crockett, and the Sandman Rob Sanders, your top 5. Green flags in the air. Budweiser National Night number 2, 8 features underway. Great start for the 4 of Colby Quinton. Shot out of a cannon down the back straightaway. Fresh green racetrack, a lot of moisture and a lot of speed for the 4 of Quinton. Colby Quinton leads lap number 1. The 58T Troy Thomas Jr., the 26 SF Steven Johnson, the one in last night's winner. Nicholas Johnson rounding out the top 4. Colby Quinton has a win in 2024. Wants to put the feather in the cap with the Crown Jewel event, the final race for the stock cars here at the Speedway. Quentin, Thornton, Johnson, Johnson, Johnson. That's your top 5. Quentin gets sideways. Here comes Troy Thomas Jr. 3 wide down the front straightaway, right through the middle goes the 174 of Wayne Dotson, James Cornelius, and Gallagher in the X1. One up in smoke off of turn number 4. Caution flag will fly. Green flag's in the air. Great start for the 4 of Quentin. Still side by side for second. Now here comes Nicholas Johnson in the 1 in. Side by side with the 58T of Troy Thomas Jr. Wayne Dotson looking to make it 3 wide once again in the 174 machine. Now side by side with Cornelius. We've got a Gagler car stacking up in 1 and 2. Gallagher off the pace in the 1 machine. Caution flag will fly for the 1 of Joe Gallagher. Kobe Quinton out in front, back to the green flag off of turn number 4. Nicholas Johnson making a move early, taking a peek down to the inside. Johnson in contact with the 4 of Kobe Quinton. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Rick Childress right through the middle. Ethan Johnson on the outside. Bobby Gallagher, he was in the X machine down on the inside. They get it sorted out as they go to 3 and 4. Out front, it's still Kobe Quinton. And the 1 in Nicholas Johnson. Troy Thomas Jr., the 13 of Casey Johnson. Now here comes Wayne Dotson in the top 5 in the 174. Things starting to sort out. All your leaders down to the bottom side of turns 1 and 2. The first car to the top side is the 44 of the real deal, Rick Childress. He's battling now side by side with Bobby Gallagher in the X1. That's the battle for the 8th position as they work off of turn number 4. Still some good speed from the 44 machine, but right now the dominant line is the bottom side. 3 wide off of turn number 2. Now up into the top 10 goes the 2 machine of Kevin Irwin. Bobby Gallagher in the X1. 10 laps in, we still got the 4 machine. Kobe Quinton out front. Nicholas Johnson in the number 2 spot. Troy Thomas Jr., the 58T, and Casey Johnson rounding out the top 4. Justin Toohey off the pace on the high side of turns 3 and 4 in the 99 machine. Caution flag will fly. Green flag's in the air. Troy Thomas Jr. got a great run around the outside. Now he's going to go side by side for the lead down the back straightaway. Here comes Wayne Dotson. Kobe Quinton, Troy Thomas Jr., Nicholas Johnson now coming off that bottom line is Quinton. Will that be terminal for the 1 in to get it on the inside? Great battle up front. Now here comes Nicholas Johnson showing his nose to Kobe Quinton. Quinton still out in front of Nicholas Johnson. He is right there just on the inside waiting for a bobble from the 4 machine. Quinton able to slam the door into turns 1 and 2. Now pulled now side by side goes Wayne Dotson and the 58T of Troy Thomas Jr. Troy Thomas Jr. and Rick Childress get together down the front straightaway. Contact once again. Rick Childress hard into the 58Ts. Big contact in 1 and 2. Bumper now flying off the C4 machine of Cornelius, and we've got a tire down on the 24 of Ethan Johnson. Ethan Johnson coming off of turn number 4 has got a tire down in front of the field, going slow on pace. Caution flag will fly. Coming to the green. Kobe Quinton, now Wayne Dotson on the inside of road number 2 with Nicholas Johnson. Green flag's in the air, and here we go. Wayne Dotson gets turned in turn number 2. Off the nose of the 1 in machine, caution flag will fly. Kobe Quinton still out in front. Unfortunate for the 174 Wayne Dotson. Have to tag tail up. Green flag. Quinton and Johnson, 1 and 2. Casey Johnson sitting in the number 3 spot. Troy Thomas Jr. now, here comes the real deal in the 44 machine, side by side for the top 4. Quinton able to hold off the charge from the 1 in machine. Nicholas now trying right through the middle of turns 1 and 2. Different line for Nicholas Johnson. Quinton protecting the bottom side, staying down there in 3 and 4. Now able to put some space between himself and last night's winner in the 1 in. Kevin Irwin now going to the top side, side by side with Troy Thomas Jr. Troy Thomas, all kinds of cross up down the back straightaway. Able to wrangle it back in. Now Austin Meade all over his backside down the front straightaway. Problems for Rick Childress. Caution flag will fly. Lights are out. We're going green flag racing off of turn number 4. Quinton and Johnson still 1 and 2. Casey Johnson in the number 3 spot. Kevin Irwin now in the number 2 machine, looking to the outside of Casey Johnson in 3 and 4. Meade off the pace. Quinton down to the bottom side. Now here comes Nicholas Johnson with the move. Colby Quinton able to fend him off for now. Kevin Irwin making the top work in the 2 machine. $18 down, 12 laps remaining. Kevin Irwin, the only car in that middle groove. Nicholas Johnson stalking the 4 machine in turns 3 and 4. Colby Quinton just up off the moisture. Nicholas Johnson not able to capitalize. Can Kevin Irwin get that line to run in? He's going to have some great momentum in turn number 3. Kobe Ward and Robert Lawler get together in turn number 2. Caution flag will fly. Quinton, Johnson, Irwin, Johnson. Green flags in the air. Troy Thomas Jr. taking advantage of the restart, looking for a 2-for-1 special back up into the top 4. Nicholas Johnson goes to the high side. Quinton still down on the bottom side. Nicholas Johnson getting the 1 in machine wound up around the outside of turn number 2. Johnson will have the momentum down the back straightaway. Now the only car down on the bottom side is Colby Quinton. Quinton still able to keep that advantage. 9 laps remaining. Have to be perfect if you're going to run the cushion. Johnson deep into the high side of turns 3 and 4. Colby Quinton silky smooth around the bottom. 2 to go at the line. Nicholas Johnson goes to the high side into turns 1 and 2. Side by side going into turn number 3. White flag in the air, one more time around. Lap traffic right in front of Colby Quinton. That is Robert Lawler in the number 6 machine down the back straightaway for the final time. Colby Quinton and Nicholas Johnson. Johnson will squeeze Quinton into 3 and 4. Coming to the line, who will it be? It's going to be Colby Quinton. Nicholas Johnson comes home in the number 2 spot over Kevin Irwin, Troy Thomas Jr., Casey Johnson, Wayne Dotson, Ryan Hart, Lily Meade, Bobby Gallagher, and Robert Lawler. Lights are out. We're going green flag right here off of turn number 4. Troy Folger, Donnie Meade, your front row. IMCA Stock Car A feature underway. Troy Folger around the bottom side leads him off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Now side by side, Tom Smith and Donnie Meade. Tom Smith able to get that car rotated, taking a peek underneath Troy Folger. Contact off of turn number 4. Tom Smith knows if he's got to get by the 49, he's got to get by him in a hurry because Troy Folger is very, very fast in the 49 machine. Tom Smith goes to the top side. Tom Smith gets loose in front of the field. Around goes Donnie Mead. In the number 2 position, the 174 of Bobby Hogue. Bobby Hogue started inside of row number 3. Donnie Mead will tag the back of the field in the awesome chassis. Folger coming to the green off of turn number 4. Green flags in the air. Smith goes to the high side of turns 1 and 2. Bobby Hogue now side by side with the 4 of Justin Schweitzer down the back straightaway. Folger down to the low side in turns 3 and 4. And Bobby Hogue get the head of steam now side by side. Contact made with the 4 of Justin Schweitzer. Justin Schweitzer still battling with Hogue down the back straightaway. Troy Folger has a 3-car advantage over that side-by-side battle for second. Hogue down to the bottom side now into turns 1 and 2. Slips up now. Here comes the 4 machine of Justin Schweitzer back to his inside. Hogue trying to get the 174 woed up to get that moisture off of turn number 4. Can't quite do it that time by now. Back to the top side of turns 1 and 2. They're side by side, 2nd through 6th, down the back straightaway. Troy Folger in the 49 with a 1.6 second advantage the last time by. Now here comes Eric Hamilton, 3 wide down the front straightaway. Hamilton able to get underneath the 4 of Justin Schweitzer. He'll take that position now. Schweitzer looks to be moving back as here comes the 26 of Steven Johnson. Steven Johnson now side by side with the 4 of Justin Schweitzer down the back straightaway. That's a battle inside the top fin. They make contact going into turn number 3. Sparks fly. Folger in the 49 still out front. He's got a 2.1 second advantage. Off the pace, the 26 of Steven Johnson. Coming to the cross-step sticks halfway this time by. Steven Johnson makes his way off the racing surface. Oh, he stays out in the 26 machine. Caution flag will fly. Is good now. The choose quad is out there in turn number 4. Hamilton can choose the high side or the low side. Each car has the opportunity to choose the high or low side. Looks like Bobby Hogue is going to the outside of row number 2. That is your top 3 coming to the line. Great restart for the 49 machine. Able to hold off the 0-0 and the 174. Pulling 2 cars down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Just past the halfway point, 13 laps down, 12 laps remaining. Van Hoff, now he is ripping the lip into turns 1 and 2. 3 wide down the back straightaway. Van Hoff making the top work in the 44. Austin Van Hoff, he is the man on the move. Still has 10 laps to work. Gaining on your leaders. Austin Van Hoff throwing caution to the wind, ripping the lip into turns 1 and 2. You can see him gaining back now to your leaders into turn 3 and 4. Are your leaders sitting duck on the bottom side now? Tom Smith, 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. Here comes Van Hoff. Van Hoff and Bobby Hogue ripping the outside. Van Hoff's gonna have a good run off of turn number 2. White flag this time by. Van Hoff jumps the cushion a bit off at turns 3 and 4. One more time around. Will Hamilton use the bumper? He's right there to his inside coming off of turn number 2. Will it be the bump and run in 3 and 4? Here comes Hamilton. Here's the shot from Hamilton. Folger able to hold off, and he'll pick up the Budweiser National win. Eric Hamilton comes home second over the 44 of Van Hoff and the 174 of Bobby Hogue. Row number 7 on the inside, it's the 62 of Tate Loftus to the outside, the 132 of Brent Curran. Jeffrey Hudson, Chris McKellar, Matthew Haggio, Tyler Irwin, Brian Baker, Matthew Frazier, Mason Conway, Nick Kaufman. Green flag is in the air. Piker on the outside, Clay Daly on the inside, side by side. Who will it be at the line? It's a dead heat. Scored the 28 of John Piker on lap number 1. Piker now with the momentum on the outside in turns 3 and 4. Here's Daly down, working the bottom side off of 4. Piker now cleared by a car. John Piker side by side, still with the 48 machine of Clay Daly. They almost make contact down the back straightaway. Clay Daly and John Piker throwing blows. Now the 48 machine of Daly gets back by the 28P. Daly back down to the bottom side into that moisture off of turn number 4. Looks like they may have started to burn up the top, and now Piker goes back up there to turns 1 and 2. Killingsworth now working the bottom side. Caution flag will fly. One goes around. It's the 1R of Ryan Olds. Olds gets it wrong in the turn 3 and 4 in the Rubel Electric number 1R machine, bringing out the caution on lap number 7. Trying to double up, get a second trophy in the IMCA Northern Sport Mod Division. Several-time champion in a modified and in a late model. Can he get it done again in the Sport Mod? Brock Crawford ripping the lip in turns 1 and 2. Carrying a lot of speed down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4 is the 47 of Brock Crawford. Brock Crawford finished 4th in last night's main event, now battling for the win. Crawford, great speed around the outside, down the back straightaway. Have to be perfect if you're going to run the cushion around the Bakersfield Speedway, and Brock Crawford has done so. Getting around Clay Daly in the 48. The 47 leads the 48 down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Crawford ripping the lip with precision. Slider served. Here comes the crossover from Brock Crawford. Crawford back to the top side into turns 3 and 4. White flag this time by side at the line. It's Crawford by a nose. Back to the high side goes the 47 of Crawford. He's going to have the RPM run down the back straightaway into 3 and 4. Daly on the bottom side, Crawford on the outside. Coming to the line, it's going to be Clay Daly. Heartbreak City for Brock Crawford. Gaggle of cars get tangled in turn number 2, coming to the checkered flag. He starts on the point. They come to the line off of turn number 4. Green flag's in the air. Here we go. Childress leads the field down the back straightaway. Tyler Weeks all over his backside. Now Cameron Campbell down to the inside. Weeks hard onto the back bumper of Ricky Childress Jr. Childress leads lap number 1. Cameron Campbell in the number 2 spot. Ricky Childress Jr. right through the middle. Cameron Campbell down on the bottom side. Sonny Simpkins looking to move early to the 15R machine of John Robertson. No change up front. Ricky Childress Jr. now going to the top side in turns 1 and 2. Cameron Campbell in the number 2 spot. Now side by side goes Sonny Simpkins and Tyler Weeks. Simpkins working the bottom off of turn number 4. Able to get by the 69 machine, working on the 15R of John Robertson. Also on the move, 3 wide off of turn number 2. Contact on the back straightaway. Robinson able to hold on to it in the 15R. Kyle Wood in the 4K machine. He is the man on the move. Sonny Simpkins now goes to the top side of turns 1 and 2. Losing some space, 3 wide once again off of turn number 2. Problems for Sonny Simpkins, hard on the binders. Around goes Hayden Morrison. Caution flag will fly. Caution comes out for the 23 machine of Hayden Morrison. Jamesy Baker stopped down on the apron. Caution flies on lap number 7. Lights are out. We're going right here off of turn number 4. Green flags in the air. Cameron Campbell arc in the corner. Great drive for the 28C off of turn number 2. Here comes Kyle Wood now to the inside of Carson Conway. Kyle Wood down to the bottom side, now side by side with Ricky Childress Jr. off of turn number 2. Childress now has to get back up on the wheel to run down the 28C of Cameron Campbell. Can he repeat what Clay Daly has done and go 2 for 2 at the Budweiser Nationals? Ricky Childress Jr., the only car on the high side of turns 1 and 2. Hayden Morrison getting it wrong in 3 and 4, but she keeps it going and we stay green. Ten laps down, 15 laps remaining now. Kyle Wood getting by the 1 machine of Ricky Childress Jr. Can Kyle Wood run down the 28 of Cameron Campbell? Contact on the front straightaway. Around goes the 69 of Tyler Weeks. 2 cars get hooked up and the caution flag will fly once again. Green flags in the air. Kyle Wood feeding the right rear to the left front of the 1 machine. We got one around, that's Spencer Vasquez. Vasquez keeps it going and we stay green. Miranda Scott now side by side with Ricky Childress Jr. She'll take that spot down to the inside. Now here comes Kyle Wood to the inside of Cameron Campbell. Battle for the lead into turn number 3. Campbell gets a little bit free, floats up the hill. We've got a new leader, it's Kyle Wood. Here comes Miranda Scott. Miranda Scott, former track champion now, 3 wide off a turn at number 2. Cameron Campbell on the outside, Ricky Childress Jr. through the middle. Sonny Simpkins thinks of the wiser, gets on the binders now, looking at that battle side by side coming off of turn number 4. "15 laps down, Cameron Campbell going backwards, and he's going backwards in a hurry. Kyle Wood, your new leader. 15 down, 10 laps to go. White flag, this time by. Safeshin gets into Dotson in 3 and 4. White flag, one more time around. Kyle Wood inside Colton Hay down the back straightaway. Gets on the binders. Where's Ricky Childress Jr.? Off of turn number 4. It's going to be Kyle Wood. Picks up the Budweiser Nationals on night number 2. Ricky Childress Jr. comes home second over Sonny Simpkins, over Cameron Campbell, Carson Conway, Ronald Lugadoo, Nick Spainhauer, Gerald McKiller, Chloe Jones, and Jonathan McKinley. Green flags in the air. Problems for Cody Smith at the drop of the green flag. Out front, it's Paul Miller, but here comes Jerry Stewart now, who's inside side by side down the back straightaway. Stewart and Miller. Stewart leans on the 22 machine. He'll take the top spot off of turn number 4. Paul Miller all over the backside of Stewart. Turns him around. Caution flag will not fly. Chris Smith. Can Chris Smith get the monkey off his back, get that Budweiser national win here tonight? Justin Crockett, last night's win on the outside of road number 2. Green flags in the air. Gary Dutton out front. 1.2 second advantage on lap number 3. Nice and smooth for Big Lick Gary Dutton. Chris Smith down on the bottom side of turns 1 and 2. The L88 of Jeffrey Hudson ripping the lip, trying to get some momentum down the back straightaway, right back down to the bottom side here in 3 and 4. Jeffrey Hudson from Keno, Oregon, trying to take down the hometown boy. We'll get the white flag next time off of turn number 4. Here comes the battle from Hudson. He's got the RPM run off of turn number 2. Off of turn number 4, white flag in the air one more time around. Dutton around the bottom side. Hudson, Hail Mary in turns 1 and 2. Diamonds in the corner, drives it down the back straightaway. 3 cars is the difference as they go into turn number 3. Coming off of turn number 4, checkered flag will fly. Big Lick Gary Dutton gets the win. Jeffrey Hudson comes home second over Justin Crockett. Chris Smith. And the battle for 5th, coming off of turn number 4, Timmy Randolph over Billy Simpkins. Modifieds 40-lap feature, $1,000 extra courtesy of Jeff Salters of Salty's Barbecue and Catering. Here we go. Blankenship to the inside early down the back straightaway. Tyler Blankenship leads lap number 1 of night number 2 of the Budweiser Nationals. Up to the top side now goes the 3AC of Austin Kiefer. Kiefer now side by side down the back straightaway. The 51G of Gavin Manning side by side with the 15F of Frazier. Kiefer back to the top spot on lap number 2. Austin Kiefer, Blankenship, the 51 of Gavin Manning now side by side with the Rebel Rouser Robbie Sawyer in 3 and 4. Sawyer gets by Manning. He's up into the top 3. Here comes Thornton in the 3018 machine, your 2024 Super National Champion, looking to put the Budweiser Nationals on the resume for 2024. May have found some traction on the outside of 4. Justin Crockett goes around in turn number 2. Out of harm's way for the 21 JT, and we stay green. Caution flag will fly. Kiefer all the way to the high side, down here to the moisture. Off of turn number 4, green flags in the air. Thornton looking for the move off of turn number 2. A bit of a bobble that time for the 3AC of Kiefer. Kiefer down to the bottom side of 3 and 4, gets into the moisture. Thornton gets it a little bit better. He's got the drive off of 4 to the inside in 1 and 2. Slider serve, can't quite clear the 3AC. Kiefer keeps the advantage down the back straightaway. We've got one round of turn number 1 and 2. It's Larry Wise. Caution flag will fly. Problems for the 15B of Brad Pounds as well, as he's slow on the infield. Larry Wise, the cause of the caution on lap number 25. In 3 and 4. Kiefer back to the loud pedal. We go green. Kiefer slides himself, goes high off of turn number 2. Here comes Dylan Thornton. Mistake from the 3AC. Blankenship contact with Thornton around in 3 and 4. Stacks up behind there, and the caution flag will fly. Blankenship looks like he might not be. Down to the bottom side, stay the 3 AC of Kiefer. Now here comes Gavin Manning with a big head of steam down the back straightaway. Gavin Manning now trying to get underneath the 3 AC of Kiefer, but Thornton, now we've got Blankenship around in turn number 2. Caution flag will fly once again. Gets the Harris chassis up on the bar. On the high side, he'll dip it down to the moisture coming off of turn at number 4. Green flags in the air. Back to the top goes the 51G of Gavin Manning. Can he get that run off of turn number 2? He'll get by the 3 AC. Back down to the bottom side here in 3 and 4. 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. Jake Pike, Bobby Ho rips the Colin Hipton 48K to pieces. Sawyer off the Speedway. Up front, Colin Hipton. Caution flag will fly. Caution out for the 2-2-3 of Jake Pike. Slow on the back straightaway. Turn number 1. Thornton creeping into turn number 3, gets back on the loud pedal. Here we go. Thornton protects that high side into turns 1 and 2. Manning gets tight, has to get on the binders. Here comes Kiefer. Caution flag will fly. We have debris in turns 1 and 2. Hibden and the 15 of Frazier together in 3 and 4. Green flags in the air. Thornton goes high. So does Gavin Manning in the 51G. Manning able to hit his marks this time in 1 and 2. Around goes Kiefer in 3 and 4. Caution will fly. Looking to pick up $3,000 here tonight. 12 laps remain. Green flags in the air. Troy Morris III working the bottom side down the back straightaway now into turns 3 and 4. Thornton hitting his marks, putting some space between himself and the 51G. Back down to the bottom side, the 07X Troy Morris III side by side with the 51 down the back straightaway. Dexter is there in the position now, down off of turn number 4. Ten laps remain for the final race. 1 into the wall in turns 1 and 2. That's the 15P of Pierce. Caution flag will fly. Thornton back to the loud pedal. We go green. Thornton high. Morris low. Bobby Hogue floating through the middle. Gavin Manning trying to get side by side once again with the 07X of Troy Morris III. Morris hooks the cushion. Down to the infield goes the 07X of Troy Morris. Bobby Hogue now up into the top three. Problems for Sanders. Sanders to the infield. Caution flag will fly. Green flag's in the air. Sparks fly up to 51G for Gavin Manning. Manning carrying speed down the back straightaway, gets by the 2H, back down to the bottom here in 3 and 4. Thornton showing you why he was the Super National Champion back in 2024. Now putting some space between himself and the 51G, the 2H. Dylan Thornton into turn 1 and 2. 6 laps remain. Folger now, he goes down to the bottom side here, 1 and 2 side by side with the 2H of Bobby Hogue. Here comes Frazier. Marcus Frazier in the 15F now gets by the 49 of Troy Folger. Four laps remain now for the 38T machine coming off of turn number 4. Off a 2 down the back straightaway for the 38T. Now is a straightaway lead. That's a 2.0 second advantage over the 51G of Gavin Manning. It'll be 2 laps remaining for the 38T as he comes to the line. Missing the moisture just a bit for the 38T. Thornton with a 1.8 second advantage over Gavin Manning in the number 2 spot, who's got 2.3 seconds back to the 2H of Bobby Hogue. White flag one more time around. Dylan Thornton off a 2 for the final time down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Right down to the bottom side, checkered flag will fly. Your 2024 Budweiser National Champion Dylan Thornton. Gavin Manning comes home in the number 2 spot over Bobby Hogue, Marcus Frazier, Troy Folger, Colin Hibden. That's Marcus Frazier finishing in the 4th position. Ladies and gentlemen, remember we've got one more race for you here in 2024, the NOS Energy Drink USAC Midgets. That is November 26th. Mark your calendars. Until then, I'm John Candy on behalf of the entire Schweitzer Motorsports family. We'll see you next time right here at the Bakersfield Speedway.